Alright guys, One Piece chapter 1119 titled Emmet has been translated by TCB Scans, so let's talk about the chapter. This chapter was absolutely phenomenal. We got the name reveal of the ancient robot and it finally doing something after making us wait so long, along with Luffy's masterclass as usual. Katakuri and Gaiman appearing in the chapter made it even better. In the cover page we see some kids throwing stones at Yamato while she is on her journey around Wano. It is sad seeing this, but we also have to understand how Kaido terrorized Wano for 2 decades and they are just kids, so they do not have the full picture of Yamato actually helping in defeating Kaido. I am really curious to see where this cover story will lead us to. The chapter starts off in the Egghead laboratory where we see Stussy has released Kaku from the bubble and Kaku is telling Stussy to run away before Lucci shows up. Even though Stussy betrayed them, it is really nice to see how Kaku cares for her. I wonder what Stussy will do next. We then see the giants cheering for Luffy and Bonnie, hailing them as the sun god Nika. Luffy is ready for all the action. Some Marines notice that Luffy's appearance is the same one as his bounty poster. We can see Mars flying above the Elbaf ship and he says that Bonnie Nika transformation was possible just because of her devil fruit power, so it is not the same as Luffy's. Then Mars fires a blast from his mouth just like Kaido in his dragon form, which Luffy blocks by turning into a giant balloon. Luffy says that the 5 elders do not take any damage and orders Sanji, Frankie and Bonnie to hit him from the back with their full power while Luffy is holding the wings of Mars. Sanji uses his Ifrit jammed hell memories, Frankie uses impactful strong right, and Bonnie in her Nika form prepares a giant punch just like Luffy in Gear 3 and uses it to hit Luffy's back, all 3 of them at the same time. Luffy yells in pain and says it hurts because they used Haki. It is very funny to see how Sanji and Frankie showed no hesitation in following Luffy's order while Bonnie thinks they are crazy. Luffy pushes Mars towards his giant belly and combines the impact from Sanji, Frankie and Bonnie's attacks with his own strength and blows Mars away across the ocean. After pushing Mars away, Elbaf's ship is ready to set sail. Luffy asks where is Usopp and the others. Sanji says they're late. Atlas tells Sanji and the others that they need to go and do something first. Then she tells Lilith in her head that York is able to track their movements now. Atlas is about to say what they must do, but scene changes. Cut to underwater. The ancient giant robot gets up and the transmission Den Mushi inside it wakes up too. Vegapunk message resumes and we can hear some of his words, but there are little interruptions in the transmission. Vegapunk says that the thing that was inherited can be called a will. I hope this message will reach those who are swayed by the cause. He is most likely talking about the will of D. We can see more reactions around the world when people see Vegapunk appears again in the screens. In Whole Cake Island we see the best big brother Katakuri along with Moscato, Brownie, and Zakato wondering what is he talking about now. Vivi and Morgans are in shock again seeing the transmission is back. And finally we can see Gaiman and Sarfunkel reaction to Vegapunk's message, but since they don't have any Den Mushi they are not aware of the worldwide broadcast. Back to Egghead Island. York tells 5 elders that the transmission Den Mushi uses separate circuits for transmission and memory storage. So the only way to permanently stop the broadcast is to destroy it completely. Jupiter spits out the Cypher Pole agents and Seraphims onto the marine battleships. Then Jupiter starts sucking back Elbaf's ship. Luffy jumps back to the shore and punches Jupiter's face to stop him. But while Luffy is punching Jupiter, Warcury runs past him and jumps to the Elbaf ship. Warcury is about to crash into the Elbaf ship. We can see that Bonnie turned back into Kid after extra large Nika punch she used. Luffy notices something coming underwater. It's the ancient giant robot that remembers Joy Boy voice from the past. In the epic final double page of the chapter, the ancient giant robot rises out from the sea and punches Warcury's face, breaking one of his giant fangs. We see Joy Boy talking for the first time in the flashback of the robot and he says, "Listen Emmet, when the time comes, you must." Everyone is shocked. Dory and Braji eyes pop out of their sockets. Luffy's eyes become sparkling. Luffy shouts in excitement, "Robot!" And the chapter ends. Can't wait for the next chapter, but unfortunately there is a break next week. Oda has been cooking non-stop, so hope he rests well and comes back stronger than ever with the next chapter. Until then.